To battle, packmates, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am Admiral Tarek of the Dreadnought Scimitar, as we continue our campaign against the Hydron Star Kingdom. And last time, well, we just putted around the planet of 111 a couple of times. It's the Hydron homeworld. We're sieging it. It takes a long time to get it bashed down, but it's down to 33, so it's kind of vulnerable. And if we can take it with its economy of 100, oh, that'll put us in such a nice place. So without further ado, let us set out into space to attempt to attack the enemy. Hopefully we'll be able to capture this planet this episode, although technically, going by the thing, it should take about 7 more missions before we actually neutralize it. 8 if we want to take it. Another shipyard assault has come our way, and we shall endeavor to execute it as quickly as possible. Shipyard assaults are not exactly my favorite mission type in the game, especially not when I'm all alone against an X-type heavy cruiser. Holy crap. So we have a light cruiser, a frigate, and an X-type heavy cruiser, which is very bad. Let's get accurate scans. What are we dealing with? It's a heavy bombardment cruiser, even worse. So heavy bombardment cruiser, an HMO, okay, so we got medical doctors coming after us, and a DWE, so a war destroyer escort. I really, really hope you're not a carrier. Him alone, I can probably take. Him with one gets dicey, and the reason why it gets dicey is just because it's multiple angles of attack, and I'm only degrading the capabilities of one ship at a time when I get involved with that. So that has me a little bit worried. So let's kick on our forward shield to as much reinforcement as we can. Cycle the battery so it does not get used up, and we're going to have an interesting day. Overload the weapon system, we're definitely going to need that. Set this out to a range of 2, so we have a little bit of anti-fighter defense. We are, by the way, escorted by nobody, which is not good. So as soon as they hit a range of about 35, 40, they will deploy their fighters, and we are dealing with 4. Please tell me it's just 4, not 8. It's just 4. Okay, that's good. Okay, small mercies. So we've got 4 enemies right now from the fighters. You have 3 or 6. I think it's 6. So we're looking at 10 fighters at this point. Plus whatever the war destroyer escort is. He has at least 2. I'm almost positive. So the goal is fight the fighters. Please tell me I was wrong and there's only 2. Ooh, bombardment cruisers only have 2. So it's not 10. It's 6. Okay. So the focus has to be on fighters. Must be fighters. Because fighters will cut through us, but with that in mind, oh, he's just going to have a lot of firepower. He's launched his hunter guerrilla group as well. He has 2. We're looking at 8 total fighters. That must be dealt with as soon as possible. So line them up and knock them down. And disruptors, please. Okay. So fighters killed on that group. That's the big fighter group. The other 2 are just twin fighter groups, which I'm not as worried about. Speaking of which, drop a mine and kick it on. And you, I gotta get nose on. Opened you up. Oh crap, I gotta target your fighters, not anything else. I was expecting that. I was really hoping it wouldn't go that way though. Okay, we're out. We're out. Gone are we. So he pulled his fighters back. Yeah, let's just get the heck out of here. There's no fighting that. If I hadn't gotten that close, I probably could have done something. But we did get that close, and it ended up being a disaster. And now we're about to compound it by putting out even more cost worth of ships and fighters and things. But it's worth it because it's delaying them from being able to attack us. Dump a mine right in their face. Let's see what they do with it. That's what I thought. You're going to run away. So we at least got a pretty decent hit on him. He's down to a speed of 29. He's accelerating, though, which is not great. Let's keep the repairs going. If they trail out enough, we might be able to do something about it. But, nah. Nah, they're killing my pseudo-frigates too quickly. If the pseudo-frigates were able to cut around, you know, be active in that for a little while, that might change. But we're not gonna... Oh, but we could. We really could. Let's see if we cut that down. I really kind of am tempted to want to try and knock him out because he has no forward shield, and that's his biggest asset. Okay, so both of our pseudo-frigates are gone. That's fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's all right. I've got 80 damage wrapped up, well, almost 80 damage because it's not fully charged, wrapped up in the ESGs. But those G2 phasers just, oh, they make me not want to go in for obvious reasons. So I think we just have to keep running. As much as I would love to turn back in on this guy and just slam him. Because I've got a lot of firepower here. 2 ESGs is not a small amount of firepower. How's my rear shield doing? Not great. Still there, which is kind of amazing. Yeah, we're out of here. If we had an escort, at least one, someone that could distract the fire a little bit, we could do something about that. Deploying our pseudo-frigates early would not have helped. Because if we had deployed the pseudo-frigates early, the fighters would have just butchered them. And yeah, the fighters really cut through our shields pretty easily. It wasn't the only thing that was causing the major issue. So we did get out of there alive, which is the important bit. So discretion was indeed the better part of valor. As we come back in and start looking for more XCAs, I'm not interested in fast cruisers. Apparently we have a whole bunch of new command cruisers. Just came out of the line, and brand new CCXs, which are just 6 Disruptor Force, 2 ESGs, and 12 phasers. It's not even the 4 expanding sphere generators that I would expect on a ship of this era. Yeah, that's a lot of prestige that we gotta spend for that. Pseudo-frigates are expensive, especially for Lyran ones, which just don't do that much. I mean, yeah, they're pretty much frigates. Like, they literally have the same armament as light frigates. But it's kind of annoying. They just don't have any major crunch. Because the other 2 races that I think, well, yeah, 2 races I think, that I think of when use pseudo-frigates, they use pseudo-frigates that have plasma torpedoes. And so every pseudo-frigate is a terrifying danger. But for us, our pseudo-frigates have disruptors and ESG. That one ESG does 20 damage. Whoop-de-doo. The pseudo-frigates that we get for the Romulan Star Empire have between 4 and 5 plasma torpedoes. That's 20 damage apiece. So, I really don't like Lyran pseudo-frigates. I think that putting tonnage into them is such a waste. But then again, on the other side of that, Lyrans don't have a lot of high-power weapons anyway. The ESG is really cool, but it's also super high risk and needs to be used for other things. Like, we don't get AMDs, which is kind of weird, considering we fight the Marak. We don't get AMDs, we have to rely on our ESGs, but the ESGs are also our primary heavy weapon. So, it kind of lends itself to a really weird ship design, which is why I always go for the Mauler, because I want a primary centerpiece weapon, and I can't get that unless I go for the Mauler. Which is also one of the reasons why I kind of shy away from the battleship. I don't think the Lyran battleship is any good. Like, yeah, it's a lot of ESGs, but if I stay outside of a range of 3, you ain't doing nothing to me. It's not like a Hydran battleship that at least comes with its, at least backs that up with some Hellbores. So that forces you into a situation where you either fight me close or you fight me far, and either way I'm going to have a lot of firepower. Disruptors just are not a lot of firepower. They're skirmishing weapons, and battleships don't skirmish. So, Trekyards actually recently did an episode on the B-10 battleship, which was actually really interesting to see that apparently the Klingons had endeavored to put in other heavy weapons like photon torpedoes and Hydran Hellbores into their dreadnought when they were trying to figure out what should be the forward heavy weapon. Did I not order you to go attack? Because I thought I did. I'll rectify that now. Go kill over here. Let me engage this HMC all on my own. I don't need you. I'm actually bringing to the table a ridiculously heavy amount of firepower. Just don't get involved. Go away. Go over there. Fight people who can't fight back. That's basically your job. On the bright side, he doesn't have any shields, which is really nice. So we should be able to basically knock him down in one blow. In fact, I'm going to even set the ESGs down to minimum range because we're just going to bounce him. Guys, your heavy weapons have more important things to do. Whatever. Pull him within close enough range. More speed. We're going to have to chase him. Should be able to at least get within a range of 5. And when we do, that'll be a lot of damage right now. Hi! Oh, didn't need the ESG. Okay. Maximum speed. If I'm lucky, I can get to this. I can get to this freighter in time. I am actually cruising along at a pretty high speed, so we might have a chance of doing that. So if we can get to him, knock him out. It'd be better if we got to him. But he's a distance of 20 versus 16. Okay, that's not super different. Well, maybe we'll go one then the other. We'll definitely be able to follow him up with phasers. But if I can get there in time... Oh, the ESG's got to be running down pretty soon. I wish it would actually tell me how much time I had left on the ESG. I know it lasts for like a round, but... And bounce. Okay, all the weapons engaged. Got through. You have a missile launcher, which is actually pretty interesting. Fire more. Oh, had to pick off the missile. Slow way down as we cruise on into this convoy. We're joining the convoy, guys. Let's just join with them, have a good time, a few laughs. and line up with them for heavy phaser bombardment. Maximum speed time. This is basically, we're just ending them at this point. Oh, do I need to go a little bit faster? That's fine. These raptors. Also, cut down that forward shield reinforcement. I need to charge them all. Just because I want to have it available. Hi, phasers. Yeah, start killing people. You are dead. On to the next. No, you guys can handle it. I have faith in you. Some faith in you. A little faith in you. And bounce. Also took out the mine for me. Nice and easy. Don't think I'll get in rhythm range to do that, but I have this. It had no power in it. And didn't quite make it to him, but I do have a lot of phasers to follow up. All of them. Well, you're still not dead. There we go. Full convoy completely finished off without too much trouble. See, we couldn't go after the shipyard because they just had too much defending it, but as long as we nibble at the convoys, that'll force them to leave the shipyards and allow us to more easily attack them. The game actually doesn't quite work like that. That'd be awesome if it did, but no. Not quite that level of complexity, sadly. Pop back home. Oh, the travel time between these two tiles is just ridiculous. Like, what is in the way of this? Is there some kind of major nebula? There might be. Because they ran away to get... The Hydrons ran away to get here. XCA? No, we've got a baby X. And an XDA if we want a destroyer. But no. Hydron destroyers, not very good. Not Hydron destroyers. Hydron destroyers can be actually really good. Because Gatling phasers. Gatling phaser will instantly turn your mediocre ship into a great ship. Or at least a good ship. Alrighty, so it is a planetary assault, and we are currently squaring off against a PLPH-17. This planet will be armed to the gills. It'll have no less than 8 Hellbore cannon launchers, whatever we want to call them. An additional 8 phaser 4s and 8 phaser Gs, because it's Hydron, it's special. Also squaring off against a heavy cruiser, which is an MHX, and that's it so far, but I anticipate something over here and maybe something over here. Today we're being escorted by the Blood Spiller, which is a heavy dreadnought, as well as the battlecruiser Whitefire. Excellent name for a battlecruiser. 4 ESGs on a battlecruiser is really nice. I'm just going to say that. Has your buddy shown up yet, or is it just seriously just going to be a heavy cruiser and that's it? I mean, I'm not complaining. If that's all you want to bring to the fight, I'll be perfect. No, that's what I thought. You brought a full-on carrier to the battle. Great. So I don't like when the Hydrons actually bring full-on carriers, because full-on carriers are really scary, and now I have to deal with that. Unfortunately, also, the full-on carrier is on the opposite side of the map right now from our heavy dreadnought, which would be excellent to have to serve as sort of point defense. So you are an OSX, which means you have the latest and greatest in technology, but if I'm not mistaken, that means you've got like 6 phaser X's, and that's it. Because if this is the same ship from the Turkey Shoot Hydron mission, this really doesn't have much going for it aside from fighters. But we're about to find out. Also, not really concerned about an MHX all. No, this is a battle carrier. This is full on ready to get in your face. He's got 4 Hellbore cannons and 3 fusion cannons, which is not too shabby at all. The question becomes, how aggressive do I want to be with this? Because what I could do is I could turn in, engage him, slam him with everything we've got. Oh, he's got quite a few fighters, actually, and they are hunter-killers still. Killer bees, 3s. Okay, so he's got a pretty significant amount of those. And you have just launched yours. Let's find out just how many fighters we're dealing with. 12? Am I reading that right? Looks like it. So we've got 12 fighters over there, plus his additional 3, was it, or 4? Plus his additional 4. So we're looking at 16 fighters all told at this moment. And if the fighters go after the Whitefire a little bit more aggressively and ignore us, we'll really be able to do something about that, but I'd prefer to go after this OSX. Because if I can knock him out of this battle, well then the MHX can do whatever he wants. He's a point-blank range fusion boat only. Are you gonna come towards me? Because I have ESGs. They're fully set, ready in aggressive position for anti-fighter work. That's actually a good idea. Let's deploy these in defensive mode. Give ourselves a little bit of protection. HMS Magnificent. Alright, get ready. ESGs down to minimum range and heavy cannon. By heavy cannon I of course mean the Mauler! Everything else into him. And get ready for the bump. Oh, it's going to hit the open shield too. Yes! Carrier gone. Okay, we took quite a bit of a hit to do that. So we've got cascading damage across all forward decks. We've knocked out An ESG and 3 phasers. Holy crap, that really did take a number on us. But we completely knocked 12 fighters out of the fight. That was huge. The MHX, it should have knocked 12 fighters out of the fight. Apparently not. Interesting. Okay, let's focus on the Magnificent now. We're not really in a position to do anything about him because we don't have a forward shield. What the heck? Apparently only now the attacker and defender ship were destroyed, which took out all the fighters? I'm going to call it a glitch and work from there. No, it's not. The fighters are still there. So they destroyed the Whitefire, and all of the Whitefire's pseudo-frigate escort. That's what happened. So now the Bloodspiller are currently getting involved in a point-blank range melee with the Magnificent, which is exactly what it should be doing. Which part I got in this thing? I've got 1 point of energy. If I cross her T, I might be able to kill her in one shot, which would be preferable. Keep the reinforcements going. I need more power. Actually, we're at maximum power. I need more shield reinforcement. Didn't even need to get in there. Excellent work. So it is now just up to the planet, and the problem is I don't have a forward shield. That's actually a really significant problem. So I'm going to spend a little time cruising out here. In fact, I'm going to slow down and return to me. Return to me. Oh, let's slow down. And the reason why we're slowing down is because I need time to regenerate, repair, and other such things. Okay. So planet's already started engaging me, which makes sense. It wants to kill me. 45? Yeah, please tell me I've got full 60 on this. That'd be best. No. Oh. No, we don't. We lost 2 points of energy on this. Alright, set this to 4. Pop up the forward shield to a maximum value, and let's go on in. We are engaging. Now, we know that we can knock out a planetary shield with a concentrated salvo of Disruptor and Mauler fire from half range. So half damage range. About 16 is where we normally do it. So if the planet also engages mostly him, we should be fine. Any more repairs to the... Nope, it's just the Phaser X and to the tractor beam, which we don't normally use. We just have no reason for it. Do I deploy the pseudo-frigates for additional fire? Might not be a terrible idea. Because they're focusing on them. I mean, like, yeah, they're killing them, but it would be a good defensive measure. No. I'm going to try and save the money. We're going to be cheap. Cheap as possible. Oh, we don't have a whole of firepower right now. So we are 2 points of energy off from our maximum value. That'll be 4 damage. You cut through the shield already? Holy crap! You're a disruptor-laden vessel. How do you cut through a shield already? Alright, pull into a stop, guys. All stop. Disruptors, just blink away as much as you can. Oh, we are drifting so fast. Yeah, that's what I was a little bit worried about. Luckily, we were able to survive the hit. So, let's check out our energy screen, because I've got 43 points of energy in the forward shield, and I don't need that. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. Oh, you have more power than you need. Let's give myself a little bit of excess so I can actually do something about this. And maximum speed of time. So we're all stopped. We have a decent amount of forward energy. And we'll just lay into them with Disruptor Fire. I mean, it's not really all we can do. Oh, whoa. Why is my shield dropping completely? I did not put it that low. Did I? I need power in both the shield and the Mauler. So the sooner... Okay, it looks like it's stabilized at about 17. Continue to engage with Disruptors, which are power neutral, when you're sitting at full. Because Disruptors cost just as much energy to charge as they do to fire. So we don't get any bonus from sitting there with, you know, full Disruptors and not charging them. So we can fire them to our heart's content while we wait for the Mauler to charge back up to full power. Which, there it goes. So we're just going to combine the two and shut it off now. And eventually we will knock this planet down to little tiny pieces. 42 of our Marines versus 15 of theirs. We just need time. What a probe. How are they doing on the ground? They're actually doing quite well. I'm surprised they're not shooting at me. Oh, they're shooting at the heavy dreadnought. Which makes a certain amount of sense. I mean, you would want to prioritize a heavy dreadnought, but I'm still a Mauler. I still deal a lot of damage in one shot. Am I being jealous of a heavy dreadnought getting shot at? Perhaps. Maybe. In any event, another shot from the Mauler. Only does 29 damage from this range, which is kind of sad. But, hey, it keeps us alive, and that's the important measure. Another probe. How did that went over? Great. Increase speed. Let's get right on in there. And yeah, let's cut the forward shield reinforcement, or do we not dare? I kind of don't dare. And the reason is because he's going to have a Phaser 4 repaired eventually. And when that happens, then we're going to get hit pretty bad. I'd prefer to not get damaged all that much. The assault to get in here actually worked out really well. Really well in our favor, because we were able to completely knock out the carrier with basically no reply from it. At no point did they have an opportunity to stop us. Send in all the Marines, and I'll stop. I don't actually need to use my ESG. We've already basically destroyed the planet. Now we just have to chill and wait for the Marines to do their work. Capture everything on the planet. Homeworld once again captured. Now, of course, that won't actually capture the homeworld, but we're getting steadily closer and closer. And also, 670 prestige, which is always fun. Yep, 670 prestige for taking over the planet once again. They're down to 24, which is vulnerable. So very vulnerable. 62 points of energy plus an additional 7. And a whole bunch of Marines, most of which we sent. A few of them, well, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. All of our pseudo-frigates survived. Quick check through. Hi, anything here from the heavy cruiser range? No. But that's actually going to do it for today's episode. Getting a lot of good damage in on the planet itself. Empire Defense 24 is a very vulnerable place to be, and soon the planet will be ours. Anyway, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment. I will see you all in the next episode.